During my deployment, my wife defrauded me, emptying our bank accounts and homes. Hello everyone and welcome back to another story about Reddit cheating. Please click the subscribe button and the notification bell before we begin so you don't miss another cheating story. This happened about 20 years ago, and while I'm over it, I thought I'd share my thoughts in the hopes of hearing from others who have had similar situations. My first marriage was never what you would call healthy, and there were a number of warning signals that I ignored at first since I had little experience dealing with older women. At the time, I was 23 and she was 28. To cut a long story short, after 9/11, I enlisted in the military. I was aware that we were headed to war and that I would be deployed. My wife and I fought a lot at this point because she wanted to move, and I reminded her that it was not up to me where we go. I'm Uncle Sam's property until my tour is done. Needless to say, we were ordered D to deploy to Iraq shortly after arriving at Riley, and as much as we fought, we had special moments several times over the next few weeks. It was almost like when we first met, so I certainly didn't believe anything was wrong. Fast forward to deployment day, and as you can expect, we're both a shambles. I'll skip the dull details of the flight over because there isn't much to say about it. We landed in Kuwait and I was assigned 2-34 armor, which was a big boy crap. We were entrusted with securing several places for rebuilding and reuse, but I can't go into any more detail. I was deployed for 3 months before we were able to set up a post that allowed us to receive mail and make calls home using a satellite phone. I had no response the first several times I called, and mail began to flood for everyone, except me. Once a week, I received care packages from family members, and every week I longed for a letter or something from home, but nothing arrived and no phone calls air returned. It got to the point where other soldiers were contributing items to me since I was down to my last TA-50. 9 months had passed with no letters, packages, or phone calls from my wife, and I was in a poor place emotionally. Where I was, it was a very bad place. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm told I need to take leave and return home, but I have no idea why I'm being sent home to an empty house. When I say empty, I don't mean half empty. I mean absolutely empty, including my clothes. Later, I learned from my next-door neighbor that she had moved some dude into my house for 4 months and that she was pregnant. It gets better. She stopped making my car payments, and it was repossessed. She cleared out the bank accounts and racked up the credit cards by purchasing new household things for her new apartment. She'd set up camp at the ATM and wait for my paycheck to arrive, then withdraw everything except some change. I would have done so, but the nearest ATM was 5-7. Miles away, I didn't have a car, and it was January in Kansas. It wasn't fun washing your clothes in the sink and drying them on the step railing every day because you didn't have a washing machine or a dryer. I had to beg for MRE from supplies because I didn't have any money to eat, and she made sure I got them. I saw her for about 10 minutes before she was discharged from the military, and she informed me that she was expecting twins. That JAG doesn't care about the soldier, only the spouse, and even though she cheated, she was still entitled to my check, which she was taking. We're obviously divorced, and I skipped over a lot of the other nonsense she did, because this would be a novel if I included it all. If you're curious, leave a remark and I'll respond later. The second story is as follows: everything that could possibly go wrong did. Hotel rooms, lying, and a lack of affection, to name a few things. About 2 months ago, she cheated on me with someone I considered a fry end. It was twice with him and flirting with another guy, according to my understanding and her hopeful honesty. She wanted to break up with me and couldn't believe I wasn't yelling and freaking out after we talked it out. I cried, but I'm mainly composed. For the past few months, I had a feeling something wasn't quite right. She was apparently expecting a fight when she received this response. She now appears to be completely repentant, and I truly believe she loves me and wants to make us work. I'm undecided about what I should do. I adore her and have fantasized about spending my life with her. She's told me everything, texted this man telling him to back off because she's not into him anymore, promised to show me texts, have daily check-ins, and so on. However, here's the thing. I don't want to be that man. I don't want to have to keep an eye on her or not trust her or act as if I'm her mom. I want to be her best friend, lover, and partner. We've even discussed being open poly PR. Obviously. It turns out she wanted it to relieve her guilt. So now I'm afraid to do something I've always wanted to try. We tried to make love, but I couldn't move. She did all the work while I was frozen. I was completely paralyzed, and touching her didn't feel right. Is it possible? Is it possible that things will improve? Is she ever going to be trusted again? Obviously, there is no one-size-fits-all solution, but I'm hoping that sharing can assist me. Thank you all so much. Edit. Wow, a lot of responses, all leaning in one direction. It appears that I have a lot of self-worth to discover. Thank you to everyone who participated. Here's the third tale. My ex started sleeping with his phone in his pocket after a while, which was a strange red sign, but I never said anything. Something was awry when I saw he wouldn't even pull up his phone in front of me. It slipped out of his sweatpants one night, and I awoke with it near my legs. I was just about to charge it when I noticed he had it B. Bunch of notifications and messages from a dating app. I wanted to slap him in the face. I, on the other hand, did not. So I made a profile with the photos of a friend of mine that he never met, and I had her approval. She was just his type, and I knew he favored blue eyes. So when we matched, as I expected, we started conversing. We had been talking for about a week when I proposed we meet up. It's all about flirting and loving things. He informed me that he was unmarried and that he shared an apartment with a friend. So I proposed that he pay for a hotel room so that we could chit and chat, you know. He stated that he would. We choose a location. I paid for everything because he had lost his job and was unemployed. With deception, he drained my savings account over the course of a year. When I informed him I didn't have any extra money, he would remark, "We're family. We take care of each other when we're in terrible situations." I paid off my student loans as well as all of the bills for a one-bedroom apartment and the groceries. This kid had the audacity to approach me and ask for money. His mother's birthday was approaching, and he wanted to get her something special. As a result, I handed him $50, simply because it was amusing at the time. I'm still thinking about that moment when he smiled. He left that weekend. He said he was going to his mother's house and would most likely stay the night. I kissed him on the cheek and assured him he was going to have a fantastic time. After that, I packed all of his belongings and put them outside. It passed quickly because I live in a U.S. metropolis. The locks were changed. He messaged me on the app a few times, and I told him I was running late because I wanted to look beautiful, but that I will be there and that I was sorry. My friend also emailed me some sensual photos to give him that didn't show her entire face. She's real. I even persuaded him to jerk away and email me a video. After that, he was forced to sit until around 1 a.m. on the dating app. I sent him a photo of a homeless man rummaging through his possessions, and to take advantage of his hotel stay, I banned his number and went to bed as soon as my phone rang. When I got home from work on Monday, he was standing outside my door, embarrassed tears, begging. He told me he was homeless and didn't know where he could go. When I didn't like it, he became enraged, as he always does. I contacted the cops when he began grasping and attempting to enter my unit. I got a restraining order because he threatened my life and the lives of my pets. If I didn't kick him out, he's moved a few hours away to be closer to his only family, and he's got a job. Thank you for viewing, and be sure to check out our other infidelity stories videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already to get more daily Reddit cheating stories.